Hey everyone, I'm here with my new to me 2021 Alfa Romeo Stelvio TI all-wheel drive, and today I just want to walk around the car, show you what it's got, and tell you why I bought it, why I traded in my 2020 Audi A4 and chose to go with a slightly newer but a little bit more mileage 2021 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. So right off the bat, I'll first mention that I really enjoyed the 2020 Audi A4 that I had for about 26,000 miles or so. It was a great car. The main thing that I traded in as a reason was because I only had about 8 months of warranty left on the vehicle. After looking how expensive the actual really good used car warranties were going to be for extended warranties on an Audi A4, they were running in the $3,500 to $4,000 range, and on top of that, the registration for the car was coming due in March when I traded it in. All in all, I was able to, for the same price as all that, get a certified pre-owned Alfa Romeo Stelvio. That's a year newer with only about 16,000 more miles on it. And the certified pre-owned covers it bumper to bumper for 5 years or 100,000 miles from the in-service date. The in-service date of this vehicle was, I believe, August 8th, 2021, and today is July 8th, 2023. So I still have about 3 years and 1 month and a little over 53,000 miles still to go on the warranty of this vehicle. The Audi A4, I only had about 8 months left when I traded it in, and less than 13,000 miles on it before I would have to start spending money if there was any repairs. There were a few electrical gremlins on the Audi A4 that had me worried a little bit on the vehicle. That kind of cropped up here and there, and it did require some repairs. And overall, it just made me think that maybe getting something more practical while used car values were inflated, so I didn't lose too much money on the Audi A4 after using it for about 2.5 years. It just made sense to me at the time. So this car I purchased at Schmelz Alfa Romeo in Maplewood, Minnesota. Filmed a few videos for that dealership, and so they've been really, really great. I also am a big fan of Alfa Romeo because I think they're an extremely underrated brand. I've also had 2 Alfa Romeos in the past, as you guys have seen on my channel, 2 Giulias, a 2019 and a 2020. The 2019 was a base model, the 2020 was a TI. And so that just kind of swayed my opinion back to the Alfa Romeo brand. It just feels like a car that's more special than an Audi. And I know that some people would say otherwise. I do think the Audi overall is a better built vehicle when you look at terms of fit and finish, solidity, just the overall amount of rattles, squeaks, things like that. But when it comes down to it, I can get an Audi in a few years from now. I don't know how long Alfa Romeo will be around, frankly. It could be 10 more years, could be 5 more years, could be 50 more years in the United States. It's a 120-year-old brand. It's been around for quite a while. I should say maybe about 110 years. So it's been around for quite some time. But in the United States, it's had its limited runs. So when I look at all that and I think, when am I going to be able to have an Alfa Romeo again, and in such good quality, certified pre-owned? And this car also came with brand new tires. They're Pirelli Weather Active, so they're all-weather performance all-season tires that were basically brand new. They have about 8.5, 30 seconds of tread on them, so they've only got about maybe 10,000 miles on these tires. So when I think about all that, it just added up to be a vehicle that was going to be more practical long term and be something that I could enjoy driving, even though there's reasons why it's not as perfect in terms of engineering and build quality as an Audi, but it just has way more character. No one has one, and it just makes sense in terms of having a unique vehicle out on the road. That's something that an enthusiast would buy. And to put some numbers to it, just for reference, this vehicle only cost me about, I would say about $4,700 to upgrade from the Audi. The Audi, I basically got about $31,000 when you consider the tax incentives for trading it in. This vehicle stickered for $33,495, and with tax and title and all that stuff, it came out to be, I think, just under $35,000. So it pretty much depreciated by about $17,000 in a matter of a year and 8 months. When I bought it with about 43,000 miles on it, all highway miles by the original owner, who drove it to and from Minneapolis to Fargo, North Dakota for business. I think he was a realtor or something, and so had a lot of business out in North Dakota, but put a lot of miles on it, all highway, maybe about 85 to 90% highway miles. And so he actually traded it in on another Alfa Romeo Stelvio at the same dealer after only a year and 8 months after putting a lot of miles on this thing. So he obviously enjoyed it, bought another one, felt like he really enjoyed the car. And yeah, it's all highway miles, so I felt even better about that when I looked at all the other options that were on the showroom floor. Just to go over some specs on this car, it's a 2021. It's got all-wheel drive, the Q4 all-wheel drive system. It's got the TI Active Assist Package 2, which includes like the active highway driving assist feature, as well as a trailer tow hitch, which was another big thing that I thought would be more practical long term. 2021 was the last year that Alfa Romeo offered a tow hitch on the Stelvio from the factory. This has a 3,000 pound towing capacity, so that was another big win in my books. This is an Alfa white, and the inside is the chocolate brown interior, which is a really awesome color combination. We'll go into the back seat to check it out. But I had a color that was tan on my 2020 Alfa Romeo Giulia, and this one kind of reminded me of that, but in the white exterior, so it was very similar to the Audi that I had before. This is not a metallic color, it's a gloss, but it still pops in the sunshine, so I really like that. White is a bright color, but it's not lime green or a bright red or something that stands out too much, so I think that's why I really like the white on this car. Stepping inside here, it's got the wood grain. I believe this is an imitation wood grain. It's got soft touch. All the materials are really nicely made in this car. It's not I haven't kept it like super clean, but it's my daily driver, so it's gonna get some wear and tear on it and stuff like that. It's got the wireless charging pad in the center console, which is a huge plus. Built-in navigation. Pretty solid sounding door. Maybe not quite as solid as the Audi, but again, this car is about character. It's about fun to drive. It's about being a little bit more practical than a sedan. So let's start it up. Starts up with no problem at all. And so I bought this car with 43,008 miles on it. I've put on about 4,840 miles on it since I bought it. So quite a lot of miles, almost 5,000 miles in the last 3.5 months that I've owned the car. Yeah, so overall I'm very happy with it so far. I've been getting pretty decent gas mileage for an SUV. I drive all highway miles as well, pretty much to and from work, maybe about 85 to 90% highway miles. Getting about 26.8 mpg overall over the last 4,800 miles. So yeah, this is my new car, guys. I really, I hope you guys will enjoy the content on this car to come. I think it'll be a really fun vehicle for me to drive. I can already tell that you can feel the rear drive dynamics compared to the Audi. It's a top-heavy SUV, there's no doubt about it. So in some ways, it's not going to have quite the agility of a sedan. But when you push it through the turns, there aren't a lot of SUVs that handle like this. Even in the TI trim like this with no paddle shifters, you slap the gear selector into manual mode and the ZF 8-speed shifts so crisply, so assertively that it makes you feel like you're just really enjoying the car on a back road. And that's something the Audi dual clutch was, it was a really smooth dual clutch, but it actually didn't respond even quite as fast as the ZF 8-speed. I think the Audi S models will have a snappier transmission, which is also a ZF 8-speed, but in stop-and-go traffic, like, this transmission is way smoother than a dual clutch in my opinion. This car requires less maintenance than the Audi. It doesn't have the carbon buildup issue for the direct fuel injection in the 2-liter turbo engine the same way that the Audi 2-liter turbos have. So I don't have to get the carbon clean done very often, if at all. Things like that. In terms of overall cost to replace, like brakes, tires, things like that, the cost is about the same as the Audi in terms of maintenance. Insurance was just a little bit higher, only about $20 every 6 months, so it really wasn't that much more, mostly because this car is just a year newer. So insurance cost is about the same as the Audi as well. And again, this car is premium recommended for max performance. I use premium gas in the summertime, mid-grade, when it gets really cold here in the upper Midwest. We're talking like under freezing temps, under 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when I'll put in mid-grade, because honestly, the car is not going to have much issue if I'm driving it all on the highway and the boost doesn't go over 4 PSI the entire time I'm driving it. I get pretty good gas mileage. I've tried mid-grade and premium gas, get about the same gas mileage, about 26 to 27 miles per gallon overall. So not really any difference there. Haven't had any problems with it so far. I brought it in because the radar cruise control was slowing down for cars on the highway that were not actually there on the highway. So that was a little bit of an eye-opener, but I've also experienced that same tendency with other vehicles with radar cruise control. So you just got to keep your foot on the gas a little bit. And override the system if it starts slowing down for no reason on the highway. The camera is aligned correctly, the radar is aligned correctly, so no issues there. Otherwise, the car has been pretty much flawless for the last 4,800 miles that I've had it, and I'm really excited to, you know, be able to show this car to you guys over the next several years. I plan to keep it through the warranty period. Every car that I have going forward, my plan is to keep it longer than the one I had before. I had the Audi for about 2 years, 3 months. This car, I want to keep it for the full 3.5 years that the warranty is good for, or 100,000 miles. And with cars getting more expensive, and this car also having, you know, it depreciates a little bit faster than most cars, it makes sense for me to keep this one a lot longer. Has all-wheel drive, remote start on the key fob, heated steering wheel, heated seats, big sunroof. It's got all the features I want long-term in a car that's going to be practical in terms of like having a family, being able to tow something. I have a house now, so I want to make sure that I can have something that's more practical and not just have my wife's Subaru Outback as the only option in the family fleet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I just wanted to explain why I got this car and show you guys what it looks like on the outside and the inside. Again, I'm really happy with it so far, and yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as the miles get piled on this vehicle. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the section below. And have a good one, guys.